Money passing.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Alma Scots Basketball live on Q104.9 WQBX with live video streaming at almascots.com this afternoon. Live from the Art Smith Arena, it's an MIAA contest between the Alma Scots and the Albion Britons. I'm Jeff Somerville. Topher Goggin alongside as we welcome you into the Mercantile Bank Scots pregame show. And Toph, it was not too long ago that these two teams met, and the Scots won in overtime. Now, this is a big game as far as seeding goes for that MIAA tournament. What can we expect out there today?
Well, you're right. It is an important one that I think could put Alma into a position maybe a little bit better than they expected to be at this stage of the game. If they were to complete the season sweep of Albion, having knocked them off in overtime down at their place just 3 games ago, that would solidify Alma, who is currently tied for 4th with Adrian in the league standings, with the chance to get a home playoff game, which I think, coming into the season, that would have been a pretty good goal for the Alma
it'd be
Scots,
a great goal, yes.
that they recognize that Trine and Calvin at the top of the conference are likely to get those buys. Playing a great game on Wednesday, by the way, with Trine coming away with a 3-point victory against Calvin. But if Alma could get a home game, bring the fans back in here for playoff action in the Art Smith Arena, I think they'd be pretty pleased with that. A game that they would then be favored to win, a chance to move on, all of those types of things. This is going to be a great test. Albion, a program that just a few seasons ago was really the class of the league. They've slipped back a bit from there, coming in today at 8-10, 2-5 in league play. Actually just saw that as part of the research that Caden Ebeling, their longtime star, has signed to play professionally in Australia after transferring up to a D2 program at Lake State. Of course, he was the anchor of that team that was so good for so long. Some new faces this year after the graduation of Fred Garland and Ken Thomas, though. They've turned to some new folks and played a schedule that leads very, very similarly to what Alma has done. A 1-point win over Olivet. Alma's got one of those. An overtime game against Kalamazoo. Alma's got one of those. Albion won theirs. And a game that went to overtime between these two teams. So it certainly feels like a battle that is going to be awfully evenly matched. Alma, I think, felt like they let the first game down at Albion get away a little bit down at the Kresge Gym, that game shouldn't have gone to overtime in Alma's eyes, but then they stepped up. It was a nice bounce back. We heard Coach Fitzpatrick talk about that during your coach's show last week, just that the across-the-board senior leadership, one of the benefits of having an older, more experienced team is being able to shake that off and put themselves in a spot that they didn't fold up after finding themselves in OT against Albion. Should they find themselves in a close one, though, Albion very much battle-tested with a couple of heartbreaking losses as well as the 1-point win against Olivet, dropping a decision with 0.7 of a second left when Bluffton hit a 3. They had a chance at the end against Manchester, could not convert, lost that game by 1. So Albion, very close to having a couple more wins, close to having another loss as well. But they will not flinch at the end of a tight game, even though Alma got the better of them a week and a half ago.
Yeah, these two teams have something in common. Within the last 2 weeks, they both played back-to-back overtime games, and one of those being against Kalamazoo. Scots dropped theirs to Kalamazoo. Albion was able to beat Kalamazoo. These are two teams that have played a lot of tight games throughout this season, like you just said. So the only thing you can expect tonight, or this afternoon, is a game that's going to come right down to that final minute and a half, and who's going to be the better team. And you talked a little bit about it. Coach Fitzpatrick said he really likes his guys in that situation, and they're coming together more and more as the season progresses. A lot of games played with these on this team, but not necessarily so many games played together as a unit that we talked about. And that's what's kind of growing, and they're learning each other's tendencies. They're learning, who's going to have the ball in those clutch situations, things like that. And it's leading to some pretty good play from Coach Fitzpatrick's team.
Well, look no further than what Connor Riley did on Wednesday night down at Olivet. One of these folks who is a newer face, even though he is an upperclassman transferring in from Benedictine last year. Local kid from just down the road at Blanchard Montebello, but explodes for a new career high, 31 points, 5 boards, 4 assists for Riley. Riley just basically leads the Scots almost across the board in every category. If he's not number 1, he's number 2. First in assists, third in rebounds, leading the way in points by a substantial margin at 18.8. He is the one that Alma turns to, leading the MIAA in minutes because Coach Fitzpatrick doesn't want to take him off the floor.
Sure.
And you understand why. I think that, and the other thing that continues to be a trend is the terrific rebounding of Tyshawn Walker. You wondered, oftentimes you will see through 6 games of a year, a guard is leading the team in rebounding or something. But Tyshawn has gone from second in rebounding to passing Colton Meister at 6'7", 6'8", and Tyshawn Walker now leading the team at 6.5 boards per game at 6'1". That's just instincts to be able to do that as a guard. And that's been really important. Alma has struggled a little bit in terms of rebounding margin this year. They're minus 4.5, an area that Albion is plus 6 on the season. So Tyshawn and Meister, those guys, definitely going to have to key on the glass to keep Alma sort of even in the number of chances. The one thing Alma really excels at, though, is forcing opponent turnovers, still forcing more than 16 a game. That, of course, starts with Nolan Boffman and his defense.
It starts with Nolan Boffman and his defense, but it also it has a lot to do with the press that Alma likes to run, especially off of a made basket. And they cause you troubles the entire length of the floor. I mean, they can get the steal on the inbounds. They can get it all the way down on the opposing baseline. They're just into you the entire possession. And that's something that Coach Fitzpatrick has emphasized, is he wants to see that intensity from the word go. There have been a couple of games this year where the Scots have had things not go real well in the first half. Look at Kalamazoo. Look at the game against Calvin where they got blown out in the first half, played them even in the second half. He wants to see those faster starts and have that full intensity all the way through.
Yeah, I think that getting, oftentimes you hear it at a high school game trying to get 32 minutes, quality minutes.
Well, you want to get 40 here.
40 minutes here is something that Fitz really does want to see more of. That he knows that to beat the Hopes, the Trines, the Calvins, you cannot beat those teams with 30 minutes of good effort. That they are just too solid, just too talented. Some of the other teams in the league, maybe you can be competitive with a lull along the way, but not if you're going to win those games that are going to get you through the MIAA tournament. Another thing that I am interested to see today, Jeff, is what do the Scots get out of Colton Meister? Meister has been a little bit up and down this season, and every time that you think, what's happened to Colton, is when he explodes and goes crazy. It's about time for that to happen. He's 5 straight games without hitting the double-figure mark and 7 out of his last 8, but this is a young man who has scored 29 and 30 points on separate occasions, so he definitely can do it. 8 points and 4 blocks last time against Albion, coming off an 8.6 rebound game against Olivet, where he surprisingly did not have any block shots. That doesn't happen very often. But I think Alma would like to get him going, to provide a little bit of a post presence, because they don't have that post scoring option really from anywhere else on a consistent basis, at least.
No, certainly not. And Meister seems to be 2 different players. Either you get it one that really explodes, or you get one that really struggles. And like you said,
defensively
he's good every day. But like you said, he's due for an outburst. You gave those numbers, the 7 out of the last 10 not reaching double figures. Guy's averaging 9.8 points per game still somehow. So you know that he's got it in him. You just want to see it there tonight. We've already seen a great basketball game here this afternoon, and that's why this game is actually going to start about 5 minutes late, as the junior varsity contest came right down to the bitter end, and it wasn't bitter for the Scots.
Right. I mean, let's actually recap that just a little bit. Albion is a back-and-forth game the whole way, very close throughout, but Albion leading by 2 with about 15 seconds to go. The Scots call timeout, run a play that is an abject disaster. Nothing goes right. A player falls down. The ball is lost. Albion ball with 3.9 seconds. Albion gets it in. Alma fouls with 2.7. Albion was up 1.
Yep, they were up 1.
Then they split the pair to get to 80-78. Alma's got 2.7 seconds to go. They run a beautiful backcourt screen on the inbounder, get it in, get the ball all the way up the floor for Luciano Garazzi to basically get a traditional length three-pointer.
Wide open.
Yeah, with 2.7 seconds to get a look straight from the three-point line. Can't beat that, and you really can't beat it when it goes in.
Yeah, he buried it.
Garazzi gets the game winner, 81-80 in that junior varsity game, so congrats to him and to Brandon Staley, the whole team. A really, really nice win there.
They were pretty fired up.
As well they should be, and that was great to see. But as you said, it was a full end game situation. That's something that that you don't always see. Some schools don't put that effort into their sub varsity program, but these teams, both sides, coached it up. We had 2 timeouts at that 3-second mark.
Yes.
Both teams wanted to talk it over. They coached this thing like it was an NCAA tournament game, and it's great to see those players who maybe don't get the varsity minutes get the opportunity to still have those competitive juices flowing and come down. And, it was a JV game, but Garazzi hit a buzzer beater.
He did hit a buzzer beater. He hit a game winner
tonight and have something to talk about.
No doubt about that. Good crowd on hand for this one. Anytime Albion comes to town, it means a little more. And like we said, it's got big implications as far as the MIAA tournament goes. And speaking of big implications between Alma and Albion,
not the
women's
Alma
game
Albion
is
game today.
Just about to tip off down at Kresge. And if the Scots can get a win in that one, they're going to be in control, firmly in control of, at minimum, that number 4 spot and have their eyes even on a larger prize, number 3 or even number 2. So a big game for Coach Stormont's squad down there. We'll keep our eye on that.
My job today is to keep you focused on the game that is in this building, not the one that is on your screen in front of you with Sammy Stormont and her crew. But we are excited about that one, and we'll certainly keep you up to date on that. Both Alma and Albion on the women's side really pushing top 10 hope this year. Not able to come away with victories, but both teams have come close and sort of served notice.
And Albion beat Trine this week, or last week too. So
serving notice on the top of the MIAA that the ankle biters are not going to be biting ankles.
No.
They're going to be throwing haymakers pretty darn soon. On the men's side, Trine leads the way at 7-0 in conference play, having knocked off Calvin on Wednesday. Hope 5-2. Then Alma and Adrian tied at 3-4, but Albion Kalamazoo right behind 2-5. Albion needs a win today just to make sure that they have solidified a 5th or 6th spot to make the tournament. Then they can start thinking about a home game. Alma, meanwhile, in that tie for 4th. A win here gives them a little bit of a cushion with still a lot of tough opponents looming, starting with Calvin next Wednesday. Fans are up on their feet here, as Jeff said. The students trickling in here. I heard someone come into the gym at about 2:12, and they said, "Good morning." That gives you an idea how a college schedule works on a Saturday, but fans are definitely showing up for this one. We're going to take a quick break for the playing of the national anthem. We've got some pregame announcements, is why I'm stalling here to make sure our commercial doesn't end right in the middle of things. But once we do that, we will come back. We will have 9-9 Alma against 8-10 Albion here live from the Art Smith Arena on 104.9 WQBX. Starting lineup's about to be introduced here at Alma College. Alma against Albion, MIAA men's basketball. Take a look at the stats comparison. Alma averaging 74 points per game to Albion 71, but allowing 76. Albion allowing 71. Rebounding numbers similar. Albion just a couple more per game, but it is that rebound differential that tells you more, because different games just have different rebounding opportunities. Albion 6 to the good side against its opponents. Alma 4.5 to the negative. So that's one they'll have to fight on. The other big difference is in three-point shooting. Albion nearly a 34% three-point shooting team. Alma last in the league at under 27% So they need to heat things up. I think Alma would, we mentioned trying to get Colton Meister heated up. Landon Moore-Pierce is someone else that they would like to get some offensive contributions
Had a big game
from.
a couple games back.
Yeah, he's had a couple along the way, but slower this year than last year, and was held scoreless by Albion in that game a couple of weeks ago. So when he comes into the action, he is certainly someone that Alma will be turning to. Looking at Alma's starters, Tyshawn Walker, Connor Riley, of course, the leading scorer at almost 19 a game. Hoffman, the steal expert, Meister, and then Gabe Bordeaux, who continues to earn those minutes. Not a huge scoring threat, but just a do-everything kind of guy, and someone that that Coach Fitzpatrick really singled out as a steadying presence on this team that they want on the floor in as many situations as possible.
Well, and if he gets hot from outside, watch out, too. Then he could be a big scoring presence.
Yeah, very much so. That is true.
And I believe we're going to have a game where Boffman's speed is just too much for an opponent, and he puts about 20 on the board, too.
Sooner or later, A.J. Barden, one of the leading scorers on this Albion team, wins the opening tip. It's Barden, Nate Steinman, Cam Mays, the leading scorer, Marco Lucchese, and Jalen Flanagan getting the start for Jody May in his 16th season at the helm, looking for his 200th career win today, 199 so far. A miss at the Albion end to start. Meister with the rebound, and the Scots get their first possession.
Yeah, that might have been blocked shot number 1 for Meister. We'll see what the stats say.
Meister 15th in the country in blocks, three-point look. Walker good.
What a nice start for the Scots.
Tyshawn Walker, number 2 on the Scots scoring chart at just under 14 per game with a season high of 27. And he fills it up on the opening possession, 3-0. Mays loses the ball along the right sideline, knocked out of bounds by Alma.
Boffman tapped it right out. Got a fist bump from Coach Fitzpatrick.
Boffman, of course, tied Jeff Hosler's steals record with 7 against Kenyon, then broke it shortly thereafter with 8 against Ohio Northern.
Looking at those stats, give Meister that blocked shot on the first possession.
Very good. Mays into the free throw line, or to the lane, rather. For Albion, now out to Steinman, Clarkston native. Oh, he bobbled his feet a little bit, but kept that pivot foot down. Now to Barden in the circle. Looked for a little bit of a handoff to Lucchese, goes to Mays instead. Defender falls down, baby jump hook, no good. Rebound tapped around, and a putback rejected as well. And Boffman gets that out of there for Alma. Flanagan had a good look at the second try, but nothing doing. Walker, who made the early 3, giving Alma its 3-0 lead, goes to Riley, back inside. Meister underneath the bucket and an easy do.
There you go, a huge start for Meister.
5-0 Alma, a minute and a half into this one. And you had mentioned Alma wanting to avoid the slow start, and a quick start even better. Full court pressure from Alma. Steinman brings it into the front court for the Albion Britons. Lucchese, and now over to Flanagan. Looks underneath, can't find Barden. And now Steinman stumbling down the lane, gets a late handoff, and another block by Meister as Barden can't get over the top of the big arms. Riley up the floor for Alma, gets it down low onto the baseline. Meister one dribble, a big jump stop, fall away, clanks off to the left. Steinman a long outlet, Flanagan have to try to run it down, gets there, just heaves it back into the court, right into the arms. Boffman's going to get credit for a steal for that. Now it's to Cross, Riley double teamed along the baseline, nowhere to go. Kicks it out, wide open, three-point look. Walker can't get that one to fall. Nice rebound for Lucchese.
I feel like Tyshawn might have short-armed that one a little bit.
I think that
just
was
so open.
I think, that was going to be my comment, was the I'm too open, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Take a little too long to square it up. Lucchese in, stripped away, but a foul call. Let's see if Bordeaux looked to me like he had all of the ball, but maybe there was contact behind. Nope, it is Bordeaux. First whistle of the game goes against Alma, but they lead 5-0, 17:27 to play in the first half. Lobbed into Mays, the Detroit Catholic Central product. Now into the middle to Barden. Back out to Steinman, rotated over to the left. Lefty 3, Lucchese, that's good. 31% three-point shooter, averaging 11 a game. And he gets Albion right back within 2 with the long-range connection. Remember, Albion, a solid team from the perimeter, an area where Alma has struggled a little bit.
Yeah, they don't shoot it from out there nearly as often as what the Scots do, but they do it at a high percentage.
Yes, Alma very high on the attempts list, but not converting them at a particularly high percentage as Alma turns it over on a Bordeaux travel. Bordeaux will now step up into the front court to press against Mays, who dribbles around, gets Flanagan open in the corner. 3-point try, that's well short. And rebound comes all the way back to him. A straight refund like at the bowling alley. And then a whistle down in the corner.
He went right out of bounds with it.
Yep. Stepped on the end line.
Bordeaux provided a little defensive assistance over there, but out of bounds.
I guess that's like when your bowling ball rolls back, but then it bounces over to the people on the other side of the lane. Alma leads 5-3, 16:36 to play in the first half. Tyshawn Walker over on the left wing, fires it right. Boffman surges towards the basket, looked for a scoop that wasn't there. Couldn't find anybody to get it to, turns it over into the hands of Lucchese. Lucchese quickly up the floor, lefty finish too strong. Bordeaux, strong work over the top on the rebound and a jump ball call as Flanagan kind of had his hand pinned inside there.
It's good work from Bordeaux to get a piece of that rebound. Hang on tight.
Bordeaux is, you mentioned, kind of a do-everything kind of guy. 3.5 rebounds per game to go with 3.8 points. A little over 1 assist. Riley for Alma. They try a little screen and roll. Nobody open on the roll, so they go to the corner. Boffman, jumper in the lane, no. Bounces away, and a couple of brutal misses for both teams here early. 16 minutes to play first half. Alma by 2. Mays trying to knot it up. Out of control layup won't fall. And a rebound by Walker, who speeds back up 3-on-3, but in front of everybody, but loses the dribble. Over to the right to Boffman. Out Bordeaux 3. Clank off the back of the iron. And rebound Mays. Cold shooting. Plaguing really both squads in these opening 4.5 minutes. Inside, there's the finish from Barden.
Barden used some strength that time to move Meister a little bit. Got himself that extra little bit of room to easily lay it up and in.
What a game by Barden in the matchup between these teams a couple weeks ago. 17 points, 19 rebounds, 2 off the Albion record of 21. Bordeaux on the right, looks down low, pass tipped away from Meister, who gets it back. Barden had his fingertips on that. We're tied at 5, about 5 minutes into this one. Bordeaux elevates. Fires onto the baseline. Walker fall away from 12 feet. Good.
Oh, that's a tough shot right there from Tyshawn, but the shot clock was running out. He had to take it.
7-5 on the circus make. Steinman against the Alma pressure. Again, picks up his dribble. Got to keep that left toe down. Just barely does. Up to Barden, who gets it right back to Steinman, and Boffman's with him the whole way. Steinman backs up over to Lucchese. And now Flanagan again left open from 3, and Alma's going to have to close out on that, I think. Jalen Flanagan missed his first, but that one was right in the middle of the net, and Albion leads for the first time tonight, 8-7.
He was wide open. Just 5 of 22 on the season, though.
Yeah, he is not the primary threat from the outside. That's Childers, who had the incredible game against Kalamazoo that we'll tell you about when he comes in. Bordeaux across the lane at the Alma end. Alma down by 1. Boffman back out to Riley. 6 on the shot clock. Riley into the circle, over to Walker. He's apparently the designated late in the shot clock shooter. Misses a 3, and Bordeaux flies through to grab the rebound. Alma gets another chance at this one. Riley to his right, through a switch. Picks it up over to Boffman. Left corner. Boffman has really struggled from 3-point range. Only 1 of 14 this year. Going to look for one there and not going to get it. Late in the shot clock once again. Remember, that's the 22nd reset on the shot clock, is why Alma probably felt like they had a little less time than they were used to. Deep 3 from Albion, no good from Steinman. Rebounded by Boffman, and Alma back 2-on-2. Boffman all the way, almost got it. He's going to go to the line.
That was a beautiful take from Boffman. Coast to coast.
Got it into his left hand for the try. Only 2 Scots have scored. That's Walker and Meister. 3 players in the scorebook so far for Albion in an 8-7 game.
Going to be a whole lot of substitutions coming on here.
You are, holy moly, it's a convention over there. Some of those badges like you see folks walking around at a convention center. Boffman takes the full tour on the free throw and gets it to go. Bryce Essman and Nate Childers in. Childers, the one that I was telling you about from Benzie Central. Quiet much of the year, only 1 double-figure game until they played Kalamazoo. Then he goes 9 for 9 from the floor, including 5 for 5 from 3. Makes a free throw, 25 points out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a wild one.
Boffman makes both, gives Alma the lead back at 9-8. That's been an interesting story as well. He's a transfer that actually opened the season at Wayne State, played a game for them, and then transferred in December to join the Albion program. Steinman up the floor. Alma by 1, 9-8 here in the first half, and a foul on the floor.
I felt like that could have been called about 4 times before it was called, and when it was finally called, I thought he had peeled himself away enough. But
the old cumulative foul.
I think so.
Sometimes. Walker in there along with Corbin Heitzman, the Idaho product. Xavier Glenn also into the game. Down low in the middle of this 2-3 zone that the Scots are deploying at the moment. Down the way, Flanagan kick out. Steinman 3, no. Backside rebound tipped up and Walker grabs it.
Albion settling for a lot of threes early on here.
Well, they are, but they can make them. 1-point game here. Walker all the way. Got hit in the face. It looked like no call there, but he'll take the layup instead. 7 early points for Tyshawn Walker, and Alma an 11-8 lead.
Yeah, Tyshawn looking like he wants to dictate things today.
Donovan Collins also in there, the 3-point bomber for Alma. 3 from the other side from Flanagan, and air ball comes underneath to Glenn. Alma gets that rebound, long outlet. Riley, great catch. Heitzman has to pass it off, though, to Collins in the corner. Back out, Riley gets an open look at 3. A little bit of a line drive on that one, no good. And Flanagan flies through to grab the board. 11-8 Alma, 12-25 left. Oh, goodness, a wild pass. Apparently intended possibly for Justin Peck over at the scorer's table and thrown out of bounds. Either Jay Peck or Josh Cromer were the most likely intended receivers on that one. Not sure what was going on. But it'll be Alma ball with 12:22 to play and a 3-point lead.
Albion's struggling a little bit here. Just not getting into their offensive sets the way they would like to.
Yeah, the flow of the game a little awkward at their end at the moment. Heitzman for Alma goes up top to Riley. And you begin to notice Alma's substitution pattern. The other 4 positions change, and Riley plays on. Landon Moore Pierce for 3, no good. Had a good look at that one. Bounced away.
Yeah, you look at Connor. He plays almost 36 minutes a night.
And down the lane, and a little baby hook from Curtis Rhodes. Good into the game from Warren Lincoln. And gets Albion back within 1 at 11-10. Rhodes in there along with Dwayne Ray, another Detroit product. Played for North Farmington. Riley feeds it over. Heitzman 3, backside miss. Glenn soars for the rebound, but the big toes right on the baseline there, and he can't save it. Smaller shoes needed for that one.
Yeah, he was trying to set it up for a good save, but just couldn't get there.
Ray, the 5'9 freshman, will inbound for Albion. They trail by 1. Full court pressure from Alma, and Albion's going to have to work just to get this up the floor. Ray almost left the ball behind. Now gets a little bit of help going across to Childers. Over into the corner, squaring up. And Rhodes again, quick 5 for Curtis Rhodes. He's really surged in his late action. Did not score against Alma, but otherwise 11, 14, and 12 in his last 4 games. And he's got 5 quick ones off the bench to put the Britons back on top, 12-11. Collins wants to answer with his own 3 from the corner. That won't go. And Barden flies through to get the board. An outlet available. They get it ahead. And Childers going to pop the 3 over Heitzman. Got it.
Whoa.
Look out. And Alma wants a 30-second timeout. We'll pause with them. Albion, its biggest lead, 15-11. Back here at Alma College, where we're not 100% sure what the score is. The scoreboard in arena says 15-11. Online stats 16. Online now corrects to 15. So it looks like the consensus is that Childers had a foot on the line. So we're going to give him a 2 there and keep the lead at 4 for Albion. Landon Moore Pierce runs the point for Alma, off to Riley. Those 2, along with Glenn, Collins, and Heitzman, play on. So no substitutions for Alma during the timeout, and now a little bump called on Dwayne Ray.
I'm kind of wondering how long the Scots want to keep Meister on the bench. defensively, he had really been a difference maker, forcing Albion to the outside. Now the Brits have hit a couple of threes in the last few possessions too, but
Riley to Glenn, and a nice pass from Moore Pierce back into a cutting Riley, but sealed off in there by Rhodes. Little turnaround jumper and the nice roll off the back iron. Good for the first bucket of the day for Connor Riley. Alma back within 2 at 15-13.
Riley off to a quiet start, but that was a nice finish there.
Well, anything was going to be quiet relative to the 31 on Wednesday. Barden over to Rhodes. Pulls up from the elbow. No good this time. A little bit of a heat check try there, but an offensive rebound by Cam Mays. Drop step goes left, no good, but a putback off the weak side. Alma lost track of Rhodes there. He's got 7.
Yeah, Glenn came from the other side to try to make a spectacular block when probably he didn't need to, and it left Rhodes wide open.
More Pierce for Alma, who trails by 4 halfway through the first half. More Pierce slings an overhand pass over to Riley on the right. Big jump stop in the lane. Oh, he stumbled a little bit. Comes up short on the shot. Lands awkwardly. Gets up. He's okay. Albion with the rebound, and Mays quickly up the floor. Scooping dribbles with the left hand and scoops it off to Barden. Goes across the rim and finishes from the left side.
That was a great play by Barden.
Tough shot. Albion by 6, their biggest lead. Alma led this game 5-0. Albion has controlled most of the action since, but 2 big steps from Connor Riley. Oh, but they're saying too big. T-O-O, not T-W-O. And the bucket waved off for a travel.
I don't agree with that.
He covered a heck of a lot of ground.
He did.
But the question is, where did he start in terms of what foot was on the ground when he picked up his dribble? And the officials say too soon. You see Mike Fitzpatrick back behind the play asking for an explanation from the officiating crew. But it is an Alma turnover. Out of control up the floor, and then a late foul kind of bails out Dwayne Ray. Although Alma was extremely aggressive defensively against him there. Moore Pierce picks up the call. It's kind of another one where you felt like if the foul was going to be called, it was earlier than when the whistle blew. But Alma call that a shooting foul, which also feels a little surprising to me, but based, I suppose, on when the whistle blew.
Free throw. Hit the bottom side of the front iron and climbed up over top.
Climb her up, climb her up. Second try from Ray, no good, but the rebound tipped up. That's what Barden does. He can't secure it, but A.J. Barden, his hands right around the ball. That's how he got to 19 rebounds against Alma in the original game. Already out quickly with 3 today. He's got 3, Flanagan 3, Mays 3. And Albion with a 13-9 rebounding edge overall, a big part of their 20-13 lead in the game. Bounced inside, nice feed from Riley, and Meister the finger roll finish.
As soon as Meister came back in, he infuses on the offensive end.
Alma back within 5 at 20-15. Alma 3-4 in the MIAA, Albion 2-5. Important ramifications for the eventual MIAA tournament here today. Childers hands it off to Ray. Nothing doing in the corner, back out to Childers, who will lob it to the elbow into the hands of Barden. Meister steps out defensively, hand off to Childers. Squares now unsquare, fires over the shoulder almost, and hits from just inside the 3-point line. Meister up top, over to Walker. Walker bounces it down into the hands of Riley in the corner. 22-15 Albion, and a baseline foul on the floor with 8 minutes to play in the half.
Yeah, they're going to get Rhodes on a little reach across there. Riley wanted to take it along the baseline.
Couple of substitutions. Essman comes back in for Albion, as does Steinman.
Looks like we're going to get Lamar Lee up off the bench as well.
Start the clock on how long does a Connor Riley rest last. He plays the first 12 minutes of the game before subbing out at the moment. It's Walker, Moore, Pierce, Meister, Bordeaux, and Boffman for Alma, trailing 22-15. Walker over to the left to Bordeaux, looked underneath, nobody was there. Now over to his right to Boffman, surges, kicks it into the corner. Moore Pierce quickly rotates it out, almost too quick for Walker, who dropped it. Gets it back, 4 on the shot clock, deep 3, Walker got it, look out! Maybe somebody should just paint like a 2 on the shot clock and let
Exactly.
Tyshawn keep shooting because he has been magical deep in the shot clock. Alma back within 4 at 22-18. Mays surges across the lane to the right. Extra drop pass to Espin, who sort of half dunks it. But it goes through any way you look at it.
Nolan Boffman says that one's on me.
Everybody followed Cam Mays, who had really good vision to find Espin trailing the play on the weak side. Walker passes it right. Moore Pierce 3. Got it.
Albion does not want to see that.
Landon Moore Pierce holds Alma's school record with 9 triples in a game against Grace Christian last year.
It can happen
points
fast.
total. You're not kidding. 24-21. Alma back within 3 and a travel there in the corner. Trouble for Lamar Lee.
Kind of lost the basketball a little bit. Did lead Daquan Powell up off the bench.
Powell, somebody that Alma wants to get back going in the scoring column. Scoreless in 4 straight. (24-21) Albion, 6:46 to play in the first half. Meister to Bordeaux for Alma. And now to Boffman, who pumps a pass to no one underneath. That was just a fake to move the defense. Alma now rotates it over to Bordeaux in the corner. Underhand scoop to Meister, who plows his way towards the bucket and draws a foul.
Exactly what he was doing was plowing his way towards the basket. Meister's raised that free throw.
Next stoppage. How's it going?
throws. And again, the Britons, number 23, Cam Mays, and number 32, AJ Barber. At the line for the Scots, number 1, Tyshawn Walker. game of the Scots, number 20, Corbin Heitzman. Your score at the half, Albion Britons 34 and your Alma College Scots 31.
Excuse me, sorry, I'm gonna sneak through. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
Time here at Alma College, where Albion leads Alma 34-31, retaking that lead right at the end of the half with a little 4-0 run. A back and forth game. You take a look at the stats in terms of amount of time led, and it's almost evenly split. The big difference really on the glass as much as anything. That is the one spot where Albion does have a significant edge, 23-15. But on the whole, just kind of felt like, okay, wherever the pendulum swings last is where things are going to go. Alma leading 5-0 early. Albion leading by as many as 7 at 22-15, but just back and forth things went. Alma getting most of its contributions, well, not most, but a substantial contribution from Tyshawn Walker. Albion really spreading things around with nobody in double figures quite yet.
Well, it's been back and forth, like you said, and Tyshawn's been the difference in this game so far. For Alma, I mean, down by 3 still, but they've got to get Connor Riley going in the second half, and you'd like to see the Colton Meister from the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game extend that into the second half as well. If you can do those two things, you've got a very good chance of getting out of here with what we said in the pregame would be an absolutely huge win for the squad.
Meister 4 points, 3 blocks, 3 rebounds in that first half, and a lot of that coming in the early going. Meister, of course, a terrific shot blocker. He has all 3 of Alma's blocked shots. They didn't give Tyshawn credit for a blocked shot at the end of the half.
That's a miss because he definitely blocked it.
Yes, and it was definitely a shot attempt. So unless they didn't think it was before the buzzer, that should have counted. Take a look around the league. A few updates struggling to come in on the live stats, but men's basketball, a tight one between Kalamazoo and Olivet. Kalamazoo on the road leads by 2 at halftime, 43-41. Of course, yet another edition of the rivalry comes up tonight as Calvin visits Hope in men's basketball. Calvin and Hope playing in women's basketball right now. This afternoon, other women's basketball scores. Olivet has knocked off Kalamazoo 70-51. Trying all over St. Mary's 83-43. And do you have a score from the Alma College women's game?
Currently Albion 38, Scots 25. That was a game that Alma trailed by significantly more than that at one point. They're clawing their way back in it now.
Down 2 touchdowns at the end of the first quarter.
Yes.
Running through the scoring numbers here real quickly as we get ready to start the second half. Walker leads the way for Alma with 15, Boffman with 4, along with Meister's 4, 2 from Connor Riley, and then 3 each from Landon Moore, Pearson, Donovan Collins, holding Connor Riley to just 2 points, a major accomplishment for Albion. Meanwhile, Curtis Rhodes off the bench leads the way for Albion with 9, and actually credited with 8 in the stats, so I may have added that one wrong. 6 from A.J. Barden, who also has contributed 5 defensive rebounds already. Alma with an early turnover forced to get the ball back here at the beginning of the second half.
It's a nice job by Bordeaux to just steal it right up top.
Bordeaux didn't get a lot of minutes at the end of the first half, and we'll see whether Alma leans on him more here in the second. They get it over to him for a wide open 3-point look, and he drains it.
Oh boy, that was just dead right down the middle.
Bordeaux, about a 25% career 3-point shooter, ties the game up at 34. Alma started quickly in the first half, and they get the first bucket here in the second half as well. Jalen Flanagan, catch on the right wing. Now dribbles all the way back out to the half-court logo. Signals for a little help to come. Nobody really reacts to that, so he dumps it off to Mays. Now Barden, handoff Mays. That's Albion's leading scorer. Fairly quiet tonight. Shot too strong off the back of the rim, and another Tyshawn Walker rebound.
Number 5 for Tyshawn.
Just business as usual for the 6'1 guard, averaging 6.5 boards per game. 34-34 tie as Meister flashes out onto the perimeter, gets it off to Riley, swings it back to Bordeaux. Thought about another 3, quick closeout from Mays. Now he'll try it, contested over Mays, rolling around on the rim, won't fall, and then a foul on Walker. Got a piece of Flanagan, who then falls into the base of the stanchion, reaching for the back of his neck. Did not look like a particularly hard fall to me,
wasn't.
But must have hit just in the
just
wrong
caught something
spot.
on the way down.
Trying to work that out. Connor Riley's going to come over and check on him. Flanagan appears to be okay. He's going to play on. And he'll immediately have to deal with Alma's pressure here. Marco Lucchese also held quiet in the first half. Brings it up, picks up his dribble in an awkward spot. Gets a little help from Steinman. And Nate Steinman gets it back off. Now Flanagan in the corner. Inside Barden. Double team, dribbles out there, looking underneath, nobody available. Back out to Steinman after a stop with Mays. Flanagan in the corner in front of the Albion bench, dribbles into the lane, just leans out of control. Off balance shot, Flanagan falls hard again. Shot goes into the arms of Meister. Scots have a 5-on-4 here as Flanagan still trailing the play. Boffman leans in and scores.
Alma took good advantage of it. Flanagan fell on the other side as to what was injured first.
Yeah, he's banged up, meeting the hardwood multiple times here. Lucchese in trouble along the wing, double teamed in a timeout from the bench from Jody May. Give his team a chance to regroup a little bit. 17-50, Scots with the first 5 points of the second half. They've got the lead by 2. Albion basketball trailing by 2 as Alma scores the first 5 points of the second half. Lucchese going to try to equalize immediately with an awkward angle jumper. Alma had a possible outlet. They couldn't find Boffman, who was jumping around in frustration. He got a smile on his face, but they had an easy deuce if they had just looked up off that Meister rebound. Bordeaux back to Walker, who had the 15-point first half. He dribbles to his left, spins right, tosses it to the right to Boffman. Boffman backs it out all the way to the base of the logo, over to Riley. Corner 3, good. And Albion does not wish to see Connor Riley heat up. Alma with a 5-point lead, which matches its biggest of the afternoon. Flanagan, who plays on despite the hard falls, weaves his way through some trouble. Spins to his right, leaning in. Riley all over him. Good work by Flanagan to keep that alive. Out to Mays, bounce down low. Barden clears up some space. Riley got a piece of that as he tried to go up, but it comes to Mays, who tosses it up in the lane, misses. Offensive rebound. Flanagan, wow! The English spins it off the rim and in for Jalen Flanagan.
That was a battle for 2 points right there.
Flanagan, a transfer from Bay Community College up in Escanaba, was the commencement speaker up there back in May of 2023. Now down closer to home, playing some basketball at Albion. 39-36, Alma over Albion. A drop off from Boffman to Meister for a jumper that might have been partially blocked. Albion with the rebound. Up the floor to Mays, working against Bordeaux. Tries to dribble past Bordeaux, stays out front, and then just strips it away as Mays tried to get it up. Bordeaux drop off Riley, thought about the 3, took a step in. I think he missed his best opportunity there. Gets it off to Boffman, right back out. Now Riley's got an open look at 3. Oh, halfway down. And rebound off to Lucchese. Steinman up the floor. Walker tries to sell a little bit of a push, probably more than there was. From the corner, Flanagan misses for 3. Boffman tips the rebound into the hands of Meister, but it comes loose and Flanagan gets it back. Flanagan across and handed off to Mays, who again has it.
Ran out of real estate.
It's the second time, though, that Bordeaux has recognized that somebody who had no choice but to shoot and got the ball out of their hands. Alma a little slow up the floor. You saw Mike Fitzpatrick saying, let's go, let's go. They only get it across with 21 on the shot clock, which means 9 on the 10 count. And you don't see a foul on a reverse hook every day, but Walker just tossed that one towards the bucket and got hacked.
Well, it was supposed to be a pass to Meister, and as he got hacked, the ball ended up going off the rim. It's not going to be called a shooting foul because it was pretty clearly not a shot.
Well, that's what I was wondering. So is that?
It also almost went in.
Yeah, did he almost Kareem that one up there? That's an interesting question. If that ball goes in, does the basket get waved off?
I don't know.
Because the foul is technically before the shot on an intended pass. Not quite sure the answer to that. Foul is on Barden, his first. Alma by 3, 39-36. 15-10 to play second half. Landon Moore-Pierce, who hit a big 3 in the first half. Jump stops in the lane, kicks it out to Riley. 4 on the shot clock. Moore-Pierce tries from 3, little long. And Steinman comes through. Sorry, that's Childers, who comes through and gets the rebound. Flanagan, bounce pass inside to Bryce Essman, one-on-one against Meister, trying to lean, and a little lefty hook. Nice move there for the 6'8" Essman. He's got 4, and it's a 1-point game. Largest lead for Albion, 7. Largest lead for Alma, 5.
We said it would be close.
Playing out that way so far. Riley against Flanagan at the Alma end, trying to back him down. Kick out pass gets away from Collins. Alma will slow it down. 7 still on the shot clock. Donovan Collins off to Riley. Now 3 on the shot clock. Riley in trouble. A fall-away jumper from 15 along the baseline. Air ball, and it's a shot clock violation. Good defense there from Albion to just run Alma out of time in an awkward spot on the floor. Xavier Glenn into the game for Alma will give Meister a breather. Hoffman takes a seat as well with 14:08 to play. Alma up 1. They trailed by 3 at the half. Dwayne Ray back in there, 1 point in the first half for Albion. Now an awkward stumble from Essman over the top of Glenn, but catches the ball and gets it under control. Walker contests a pass, knocks it into the backcourt where Childers will chase it down, but the shot clock continues to run down to 5 seconds and an offensive foul on Essman on a moving screen.
Essman was angry that entire possession, right from where he stumbled catching that ball, and he played with anger the rest of the possession. Got himself called for a moving screen that was pretty obvious.
First appearance for Alma native Paul Gaddy in the game. Gaddy on the season averaging just under 3 points, but one of the Scots' leading three-point shooters at 42%. And we'll see if they try to get him open for one of those tries. Going to be a foul first as Glenn's pass fouled by Essman again.
Yeah.
Frustration continues. That's his 3rd. Jody May going to let him play through it. As we mentioned, Coach May, 199 and 196 in his career, looking for win 200 on the road here today. Riley to his right, now to Collins. So the stutter step goes left. Gaddy gets an open look for 3 from the corner. Misses that, follows his own shot though, and gets the rebound.
It's a good job by Paul to stay with it because the shot looked pretty good.
Sure did. Sometimes the shooter knows right out of their hands though. Collins turnaround 3, no. Rebound to Ray. Albion in the other direction, still down 1. 13 minutes to go in this one. Leaning in Ray, fouled by Collins, who reached across. And a couple coming at the line for Dwayne Ray.
Well, neither team can get away, that's for sure.
First on Collins, this is only Dwayne Ray's 2nd game of the year. Scored 2 against Hope on Wednesday night. Comes up short from the foul line. Scouting report on him at high school at North Farmington was, quote, undersized but not underskilled. Which is a pretty
see that every once in a while.
I think, yep. Sport communication major in his future, he believes. Unable to convert from the foul line on either try, which leaves Alma in front by a point. Riley crosses over, gets past Ray down the lane, lefty finish, good.
That's an incredible finish right there.
For Alma, they lead by 3. They'll pause and talk it over. 12:56 to play. We'll be back. .38, Alma leads Albion. Albion has succeeded in slowing down Tyshawn Walker here in the second half, holding him scoreless, but the price of that has been Connor Riley heating up. He's got 7 now. And Alma with a 10-4 edge in points here in the second half, 7 minutes in, as the defenses continue to control.
Defenses have been the word of the afternoon so far.
Shooting overall, Albion 15 of 41, Alma 16 of 40 on the day. So neither team finding much luck. Alma deploys the press. Ray crosses the timeline and gets it up to Curtis Rhodes, who had the terrific first half. Entry pass, Glenn called on a push from behind against Essman. Third Alma foul of the second half, and Glenn's first of the day. Ray having a little trouble finding somebody to get it into. Goes to Essman, who tries to work in against Glenn. Leans to his right, too strong off the window. Rebound tapped around. Essman gets it back. Follow is good.
Great effort from Essman right there.
6, nice to see him bounce back from the 2 fouls. And gets his team back within a point at 41-40. Xavier Glenn at the top of the key, just inside the 3-point line. 2 dribbles to his right and a handoff to Collins. Collins weaves it back to the left, now goes to Riley right in front of Coach Mike Fitzpatrick and the Alma bench. Riley drives in an offensive foul on Glenn. Didn't get that screen set properly. And it's Glenn who picks up 2 whistles in rapid succession.
And it was a good call.
Albion will have another chance to take the lead here, trailing by a point. Glenn goes for the steal. That gives Albion numbers, but then it's Riley with the takeaway. What do you know? Riley forces the turnover, lobs it up. Oh, Glenn wanted the alley-oop slam, but couldn't quite get the ball under
Maybe
control.
just a little high from the lob was all.
Oh, Alma goes for the exclamation point and comes out with a semicolon instead. Dribbling right.
That was a travel.
Rhodes, yeah, he stumbled. Albion keeps the possession alive. 11:40 to play. Alma by 1, 41-40. Over to Ray. 3 over the top of Riley. No good. Weak side rebound grabbed by Gaddy. 1 and done for Albion after the Alma rebound. Riley looking underneath, pass tipped, gets through to Glenn, but it breaks his flow to the basket. Xavier now will dribble it, kick it out to Gaddy, over to Collins. Oh, got handcuffed on that.
Yes, he did.
Head snap back, but gets a pass off to Moore Pierce, misses a 3 from the corner. Gaddy comes through, strips the ball away from Essman. The scramble for it on the floor. This is going to be a jump ball.
What a play by Gaddy.
Gaddy with the invisibility cloak on. Nobody saw him sneak back in there. And Alma forces the jump ball, and they'll get it on the arrow. (41-40). Still 11 minutes to go. Long ways left in this one. A game playing out very much like the junior varsity contest earlier, where neither team could get away. Luciano Garazzi hitting a 3 at the buzzer for an 81-80 Alma win in that. Walker over to Gaddy, dribbles with the off arm, protecting himself. Then a wild stumble down the lane, and he better hope he got fouled. He didn't. It's a travel.
I saw the arms extend to throw him down to the ground.
Gaddy looked like he was in the triple jump there. Apparently not enough contact for a foul, just a turnover. And Albion ball. Ray down the lane, strong off the glass, and gets a double glass bounce to get it to go. First field goal of the night for Dwayne Ray, just his second of the season. And Albion retakes the lead, 42-41. Glenn to Boffman for Alma. Swings to his left, now back to the right, accelerates down the lane, kicks it into the corner. Collins for 3, no. And Essman inside position, rebounding against Glenn, pulls that one down. Up the floor, Lamar Lee, the Muskegon native, who's back into the game. Picks up his dribble, gets it off to Childers. And now to Ray. Ray goes to Rhodes, and a foul underneath, and the battle between Essman and Glenn rages on. And I believe Glenn just picked up his 3rd. There's a physical struggle down there in all directions. And personnel's going to change. Alma's going to go back to Meister. Bordeaux in as well for Gaddy. Yes. Paul with that tap. Me?
Yeah.
Does it have to be me?
Paul played well in that stint right there for sure.
Albion by a point, 42-41 with the basketball, 10-10 to play, and another whistle. That will go offensively against Barden, so Alma comes away with the possession at the end of this exchange. Walker jogs it up. Dwayne Ray picks him up. Over to Meister, 24 feet away from the basket. Now to Boffman. One-hand pass into the hands of Bordeaux, who hit a three to open the second half. Tries to dribble through a double team, can't get it through there. Ray tries to scoop it forward. Collins dives back. The rodeo is broken out again, and the ball's out of bounds back to Alma. Barden with a hard fall, and I think getting a little serenade from the Scott students as he struggles up to his feet. He might have landed on a hip there. Should be able to work it out pretty easily, but officiating crew now having a discussion. Nothing seeming to come of that. 9:48 to go. Albion by one, 42-41 in a defensive struggle so far. It's a 10-8 second half in Alma's favor. They trailed by 3 at the break. Gabe Bordeaux to his left. Picks up his dribble. Gets it back right to Boffman. Stumbles as he crosses over. Keeps the dribble alive. A wild scoop, but he's going to get himself to the line.
That was a great job by Boffman late in the shot clock to go with the left hand there.
Yep, you see that 3 on the shot clock right now. That turns back into a 30 as Boffman will head to the line. Foul the second on Curtis Rhodes. Alma won the matchup 81-75 in OT against Albion just 3 games ago. Held Albion without a field goal in overtime till the 32nd mark of that extra session as Boffman no good from the line on the first try. Albion led that game at halftime by 5. Alma then surged ahead in the second half, similar to what's happened tonight. This afternoon, rather. Boffman empty. Trip. As these teams continue to struggle to put points on the board.
Yes, they are.
Beginning to feel like first one to 60 wins. Down low, Barden for Albion. Working against Meister, spins to his left, misses off the window, no good. Rebound comes to Barden, just wrestling it out of there. Back out to Childers, scooped into the corner, 3-point look. Lee, that's well short. Rebound to Boffman for Alma, 2-on-2 the other direction. Scoops it to Walker, thought about the transition 3. Tyshawn going to back down, has not scored in the second half after 15 in the first. Meister gets it back to Walker. Between his legs, twice, step back 3, no. And nobody underneath the basket except A.J. Barden, who adds yet another rebound to his tally today. That's now number 7. Not quite the 19 he had last time, but still a nice night in the paint. 42-41. Barden holds the ball as a couple defenders go by, hands it off to Ray, now over to Lee. Lee, a defensive stopper in high school, tries the fall-away jumper and hits that one. Pardon me, that's Rhodes.
That was an incredible shot.
Rhodes from Warren, Michigan. Lee is out there on the floor, but that was Rhodes who made the bucket. Now the defensive stopper, Lee, will take on Connor Riley. Over to Walker, open 3-point look. That one's good. Too much space for Walker that time, and then a foul underneath the...
Nope.
Timeout call.
Timeout.
Bodies were flying, but as an Alma timeout. Walker with 18. Alma ties it back up at 44. Will return. Alma 44, Albion 44, a back and forth battle that neither team has led by more than 7. Alma's biggest lead 5. And here's this one, will go all the way to the end. Rebound still tilting majorly in Albion's favor, 37-23 now. But the difference is that Alma has made 8 3-pointers to just 3 from the outside for Albion. And that's how the Scots are staying in this one, and a lot of those coming from Tyshawn Walker. Walker leads the way for all scorers with 18. Albion ball out of the timeout. And Dwayne Ray hands it off to Lee. Childers now to Barden in the circle. And off to Ray. Boffman falls down. That gives Ray an open jumper. He misses it though, and it bounces away to the right where Walker is waiting to run down the rebound.
Big stop for the Scots there. Boffman got a little help on the way down, but no call.
Riley to Walker, going to try another three. A little too much on that one. Rebound bounces back towards him though, which is where Barden is waiting. Barden just waits for help, knowing that he's going to get hounded by Boffman otherwise. That help comes from Ray. We'll bring it up the floor and take 9 of the 10 seconds to get it across the timeline. Barden now down the lane, pushes off a little bit to get some space. A kick out to Childers, back to Barden, posting up against Meister, spins to his left, trapped underneath the basket, leans back and scores.
That's a heck of a play again right there by Barden. Got too far into the basket, but just used the strength and size to back his way back into position.
8 for A.J. Barden. He was the first player that Mike Fitzpatrick referred to when I asked him to scout Albion for me. Inside, Meister a kick out back to Walker. 6:42 to play, Albion by 2, 46-44, and a foul on the floor as Walker tries to blow past Dwayne Ray. And this is, did they get it posted already, or is this a 1-and-1?
No, that's posted already. This is the final final non-shooting situation here.
The reason, my excuse on that is that they were signaling the foul with 2 1s, but that's because it was on number 11.
It was.
Nolan Boffman for Alma lobs it inside to Meister. It is 16 fouls on Albion, 5 on Alma here in the second half. 6:31, surging to the basket point. Boffman off the dribble, can get there so fast.
He anticipated the pass coming to him, was already started down the lane when he received.
Tie game at 46, and Boffman guarding both players in the backcourt. Ray gets it across the timeline. It's another possession where Albion only got it across the timeline 9 seconds into the shot clock. Barden on the outside, hands it back to Ray. Amazing the minutes that Ray is contributing in only his second varsity game. Comes up short on that one. And now over Walker, 3 halfway down, won't go. Meister offensive rebound, put back good. Big bucket there, Colton Meister with 6. And Alma cranks up the pressure one more time. 48-46, Alma with the lead, under 6 minutes to play. Ray moves it over to Lee. Back to Ray. Slides his feet, takes a look, squares, fires from 3, good. Just stone dead Dwayne Ray. Stare it down and knock it down. Just like that, Albion retakes the advantage, 49-48. Looking to the right, big collision, wide open under the bucket for a flush. There's Colton Meister for a big deuce and a timeout.
Full timeout called by the Scots. They're calling timeout after most made baskets now.
That is what Coach Fitzpatrick likes to do.
Yes,
Alma by 1, 50-49. We'll pause, come back. 5:05 left to play. Alma 50, Albion 49. What a back and forth battle this has been. Albion will look to answer once again, but the Meister slam. What an Alma answer to the just dead hand 3 from Dwayne Ray. Look at the basket, dare Walker to close out. When Walker didn't, okay, I'm going to shoot it. And a lengthy triple goes down. That briefly gave Albion a 1-point lead, and now it's Alma back on top at 50-49. On the baseline, Steinman gets it in. Albion's got to go the length of the floor. They do by lobbing it over the top to Rhodes, who had the great first half. Off to Lee, kind of pinballs off of Landon Moore-Pierce, kicks it back off to Steinman. Boffman defends. Steinman to Childers. Up top to Lee. Now to Espin, who also is checked back in. He's played a substantial number of minutes in the second half as Jody May tries to find the right recipe. Shot clock down to 5 for Albion. Steinman doesn't see it. 1 second, they're not going to get it off, and a shot clock violation. Alma just holds, and Albion has the buzzer go off while not even facing the basket.
Inexcusable right there. You've got to at least have knowledge of where the clock is, and some of that falls on your bench.
Yeah, you need a holler over there. Obviously, it's loud in here.
It is.
Droning out, only having 12 players counting down, but you're still at your own end in the second half. Alma will try to extend this 1-point lead. Walker goes in, sees an extra pass, didn't quite get it through, but Meister able to scoop it up and finish. He's into double figures.
Amazing play by Meister to get it. Riley's got it now.
Steal, anticipation comes back in the press, steals the ball, throws it up, gets fouled. Could have been a thunderous and one if that had gone, but Alma still with a chance to get back to a 5-point lead if Riley can hit 2 at the line. Alma as a team has not been great at the stripe, especially as of late. 62% from the line over their last 5 games. And Riley a miss there. Tonight, just 2 of 8.
Connor's struggling at the line for sure, which he's an excellent foul shooter.
Yeah, Riley on the season, 72%. But
that one was way off. And that one was perfect.
Most improved. 53-49, Alma by 4. 4:10 still to play. Alma with 2 more timeouts left. Albion's got 5 should they need them. Albion throws it up the middle of the court to Espin to break the pressure. He's picked up his dribble. He's got to hand this off, which he does. Off to Ray. Ray looking for a screen. One bounce, then bounces the pass in the direction of Espin. Espin from the top of the key, again kind of in no man's land. Off to Lee. Lee with more Pierce in front of him. Dribbles into the lane, passes it back out. Rhodes a kick out to Lee, 2 on the shot clock. And again, Albion barely got the shot off. I don't know if they actually did, but it's a miss. And Boffman gets the rebound. A couple of Alma fans calling for the shot clock violation there. It was very, very close. Into the left corner at the Scots end. More Pierce doesn't want it. Alma feeling like they can be patient. Can't just shut it down, though. It's only a 4-point lead, still 3:17 to go. Tyshawn Walker to his right, all the way, stumbles. I think that he just lost his footing. The ball kept alive, though. Boffman misses from the baseline. And Albion gets the denial in somewhat awkward fashion. Childers steps to his left, thought about a 3, wasn't there. Alma got back defensively. Ray with a couple of scooping dribbles, now inside Espin. Meister tries to face him up, lefty hook. Is it going to count? And 1, yes, Espin will have a chance to make this a 1-point game. Espin's ability to go both directions makes him very difficult to defend.
Yes, he can do either the left or the right, and he's got great size to him, and he's not afraid to use it either.
Yep, 6'8" sophomore, very physical. Averaged just under a point a game last year at Wayne State. As we said, transferred in December to Albion. Misses the free throw. Meister fighting for the rebound. A lot of contact and an Albion foul that will go against Curtis Rhodes.
We'll send Meister to the line for a 1-and-1 with 2:51 to play. His team up 2.
Alma, as we said, at the line, 3 of 9. Meister did have an empty trip earlier, but otherwise has played an excellent game. Meister on the day, 5 of 7 from the floor, plus 7 rebounds, 4 blocks to go with his 10 points. Alma by 2 with 2:51 to go. You can't find 2 more evenly matched teams. They've already got 1 overtime game under their belt this season. And Meister makes an important front end. Second one coming up, 54-51. One bounce, high release, no this time. And Alma doesn't really go after the rebound. Barden had good position and just grabs it. Alma by 3, Albion with the ball, 2:40 to go. Dwayne Ray works to his left. Flanagan sets a screen, couple of screens in fact. Over into the corner, Childers looks inside to Barden. Barden a couple of bumps with the rear end against Meister. Help comes defensively for Boffman. Barden says, I don't care, scores anyway. 1-point game once again. We mentioned in the pregame that both of these teams have been tested in tight games late. Alma won by a point on Wednesday. Multiple overtime battles. Nobody's going to be fazed by this one. 14 on the shot clock. Alma with the ball in the hands of Riley up top. Double teamed. Rotates it left to Walker. Pump fake now inside. Shot good in the lane. 20 for Walker. Alma by 3, 56-53. And Boffman a backcourt steal, but he went out of bounds, I think. Yes.
Yep.
Albion gets it back, but this time it's Boffman with the cloaking device to sneak through and steal that away.
We're going to get a timeout from Albion, this time a full.
They will. Minute 52 to go. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the last couple of minutes when we come back. Alma by 3, 56-53 on Tyshawn Walker's 19th and 20th points of the night, and off the dribble take to extend the lead, but neither of these teams able to escape each other as we head into the final couple of minutes. It'll be Walker, Boffman, Riley, Bordeaux, and Meister for Alma. Albion counters with Ray, Rhodes, Flanagan, Childers, and Barden at the other end. Alma has neutralized Cam Mays, Albion's leading scorer on the season, and largely kept him on the bench in the second half. Alma hounding the basketball as Albion gets it across half court. Ray rotates over to the left side of the top of the key. Riley follows him now to Flanagan and inside to Barden. Kick out, open three-point look. Ray over the closeout and he ties the game. Dwayne Ray, 2 career points coming into today, 9 this afternoon, and we're tied at 56. These two teams just can't get away from each other. Connor Riley for Alma through the double team up top. Nice pass down low, but Meister couldn't get the shot off. Now he'll try to jump across. Baby hook partially blocked, and Barden gets the rebound. Well defended possession there on Albion's behalf. Now Bordeaux intercepts a pass along the sideline. What's the call here? Bordeaux was going to fly out of bounds, but nobody seems to like whatever has been called. Do we have a timeout?
Timeout?
I think that's what happened, is that Jody May called timeout right before the pass that Bordeaux stole. I don't know that Bordeaux was going to be able to do anything other than fly into the Albion bench. Would have been very close, but I believe that Albion has been awarded a timeout here and will retain possession with 1 minute to go.
Well, alrighty then.
56-56. Alma believes this was just a 30-second timeout.
Well, the referee never signaled because I don't think the referee believed himself that it was a timeout called.
I see them at the scorer's table asking whether to charge a 30 or a full. And I think it's going to turn into a full as Mike Fitzpatrick summons his team back. They're not going to have a whole lot of time left by the time they get over into the huddle. Coach Fitzpatrick joined by Brandon Staley, winning coach in the junior varsity game earlier. Minute to play in a tie game. It's been a heck of a battle all afternoon. Biggest lead, 7 for Albion, 5 for Alma. And these are two teams that are simply as evenly matched as they come.
You don't say.
I thought I've only said it like 7 times. I thought maybe I'd really drill the point home in case anybody has missed it so far.
This is turning into the world's longest timeout.
Yes. This 30 or 60-second timeout is now the 2-minute warning and a commercial break and who knows what else. Meanwhile, it looks like a good day for Britain's fans in women's basketball. 101 to play back at Kresge, and Albion on top of Alma 66-48, taking advantage of that quick start in the first quarter, 21-7 after 1 quarter in that one. Here we're finally ready to go. 1 minute to play, tied at 56. Dwayne Ray, in just his second career varsity game, runs the point. What a job that young man has done. Off to Jalen Flanagan, who set up the pass that sent the game to overtime between these teams before. Back to Ray with 45 seconds. Dribbles to his right, now into the corner. Back out, Barden squares for 3 over Meister, in and out, no good, and Walker gets the rebound. Another rebound for Tyshawn Walker, who races up the floor to allow Alma to call timeout in the front court. 35.5 seconds to go.
7 rebounds now for Tyshawn.
Jeff, that was only the second 3-point attempt for A.J. Barden on the season.
I mean, it looked good. It looked good. Scots are going to bring Landon Moore Pierce into the game. There'll be 27 seconds on the shot clock, so it's about a 8-second differential.
Foul situation. Alma has committed 6 in the second half. So it's a 1-and-1 if Alma fouls. Albion at 8, so they have one more 1-and-1 to give. Of course, in a tie game, neither team is going to be trying to give fouls until somebody scores.
Brits are going to bring Lamar Lee back in there for defensive purposes.
Lee, as we said, known as a defensive stopper at Muskegon High School. Not a high points guy, but such a defensive presence. He quickly earned his way onto the Albion roster. Albion 8-10, Alma 9-9. Alma 3-4 in MIAA play. Albion 2-5. "35 seconds will settle this thing. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. Meister, Riley, Moore, Pierce, Walker, who's got 20, and Boffman. Boffman with 8. Boffman somehow only credited with 1 steal today. Feels like he's been more of his normal presence around the basketball, but just hasn't quite gotten to them, I guess. Alma lobs it into the backcourt. There's about an 8-second differential with the shot clock. 30 seconds for Riley. Tie game, 56 apiece. Interesting strategy here. What does Alma want to leave on the clock? How early do they try to take an attempt? So far, Riley just trying to ice
Not very early, that's for sure.
They'll start the play with 10 on the shot clock. To Walker, over to the right side. Boffman drives,
Speed.
baseline, gets all the way there. A foul
he
early.
Got hooked early. It'll be a 1-and-1. They knew that Boffman was going to get by him, and he just reached out and grabbed hold and went for the ride. Boffman will shoot 1-and-1.
Boffman 22 of 31 on the season coming into today at the foul line. 2 of 4 this afternoon. He said foul shooting has not been Alma's forte.
He also got poked in the right eye, which is going to cause more problems for the foul shooting.
If you see 3 rims, aim at the one in the middle. 56-56, 11.1 seconds to go, 1-and-1. No good for Boffman. Albion's going to have a chance. They call timeout immediately. So 10 seconds for the Britons to try to steal a road victory here and put themselves back into the discussion for that 4th place spot in the league. Alma needs a denial and probably overtime unless Albion went very early. But this is the situation where you don't want to go early in it.
Correct.
In a tie game, Albion wants to make sure that the most time that is left is time for a putback, but not to get the ball to the other end.
It'll be interesting to see where they try to go. If they try to go down low, you would expect Barden to get it.
For sure, but maybe you fire with Barden underneath the basket. 3-point shooters. Childers on the season, 39.6% on 19 makes. Steinman, 34.4%, 21 makes. A couple other good 3-point shooters in Zach Kruger and Beck Willems not playing today.
Now, I think that it'll be in, if it's a 3 ball, it's going to be in Dwayne Ray's hands.
Certainly would seem that way. He had not attempted any threes before today, having only played 8 varsity minutes on the season. He is a big part of the story of today's ball game. Alma had a 1-point win back on Wednesday where they did not score in the final 3 minutes. They led the game 71-64 and just held on tight to win 71-70. Tonight, this afternoon, they need at least one more point as we are knotted up 56 apiece. Exactly 10 seconds on the clock. Barton's going to go all the way under Albion's basket, the length of the floor away from Dwayne Ray, who will inbound it. Curtis Rhodes out there quiet in the second half along with Flanagan and Childers. Ray up the floor. Alma will not press. Ray speeding, bounces off of Boffman. Clock down to 5. Runs to his right, drops it off. Flanagan leans in. Meister blocks it away out of bounds with 0.8 of a second.
All right, right here. Albion's going to take timeout. They like to run that little lob play. They're not going to have a very good angle to run it from here, though, as they're going to be behind their own basket. So, but this is, they love this play where they can just lob it up top for a quick tap, and Alma is going to have to defend that without fouling.
Yeah, Barden the likely target. Flanagan historically has been the one to throw it. Alma's got Sam Lapine up in the huddle. I don't know if they're going to sub him in for extra height.
Well, he had his warm-ups on until just a second ago, so I think Coach Fitzpatrick has seen this script before. Obviously, Alma's been burnt by the play already this season. They'll go with 1.1 seconds on the clock. Lapine, Glenn, and Meister are all going to be in the ball game.
I think the one thing you got to remember is, Alma, you don't swipe at the ball. You do not want this game going to the foul line. Only 0.8 of a second to go.
I think Lapine might guard the inbounder.
Albion does have a timeout left. We'll see if they look at Alma's personnel and decide, hey, wait a second, where did all these tall guys come from?
Lapine is going to guard. Oh, my. Lapine's going to guard a Ray as the inbounder, who's about 5'9".
Yep.
Generously.
And there's the timeout from Albion to say, whoa, hold on.
There's no way he could have gotten it around Lapine at
6'10".
6'10"-ish.
Yep.
Maybe bigger.
Lapine listed 6'10", Ray listed 5'9". We talked about that high school article I found, undersized, not underskilled, but not 6'10" either. So we'll try this all again. They have actually revised the clock to 1.1 seconds, which is a little bit more time to operate. You can feel comfortable getting 1, maybe even 2 dribbles with the amount of time it takes to get the clock started. And I wonder if Albion and Jody May are going to think about something out on the perimeter now.
Well, they are out of timeouts, so they have to get it in. They can't call timeout here.
That's true, although even if they didn't get it in, Alma would have to get it up the floor in 1.1. We've already had one buzzer beater in the JV game this afternoon. That went in Alma's direction. Albion trying to return the favor, and if not, it'll be each of these teams' 3rd overtime game of the year and 2nd against each other.
We have a lot of new personnel for the Britons in the game here.
Caleb Mays at 6'5" comes into inbound. Flanagan, Barden, Childers, and Rhodes. Lapine will still guard the play. 1.1 seconds for Albion or overtime. Mays lobs it over the top. That's what they wanted. Rhodes gets it off. It's a floater bouncing around, but no! Good defense from Meister. Rhodes had to shoot it about 16 feet high.
They got the lob, but Rhodes had to come all the way down with it before he took the shot, and just threw the timing off a little bit.
So we'll play 5 minutes more.
2 overtime games in one season between these two teams.
We could mention that a few more times if you'd like.
I think you mentioned there's not much between these two.
Fans getting their money's worth. If you came early for the JV game, that was a thriller, and now you get extra basketball in the varsity game. We mentioned the implications of this one. Let's revisit those MIAA standings where Alma is tied for 4th with Adrian. The way the MIAA tournament works, top 2 teams get a bye, 3 and 4 hosts. So you really want to at least be 3 and 4. You need to be 5 and 6 to get in, and that's where Albion is right now, tied with Kalamazoo for that final spot. So a win here today would leave both teams at 3 and 5 with a season split amongst each other and bring out the Byzantine tiebreaker scheme.
Well,
that
exactly. That's why the Scots need to have this in this overtime period. A win would go an awful long ways here.
5 more minutes to play. Alma back to Riley, Meister, Walker, Bordeaux, and Boffman. Look at those guys on the day. Riley with 8 points, Boffman with 8. Walker, of course, leading the way with 20. And a great game from Meister with 11, along with just about every other stat along the line. He will jump it up. Barden waiting to time it. Wow, that's great work by Barden, who timed that jump perfectly and won it against Meister, giving up a couple of inches. Ray to his right, who has certainly earned more playing time than the rest of the season for Albion. Leaning in, little baby hook from Barden, no good. Flanagan put back, no. And a couple of close range misses and then a tap out. And this is going to stay with Albion. Certainly the Albion players think so. It looks like that's what's going to happen. Coach Jody May looking for career win number 200. Like Fitzpatrick a little earlier in his career, looking for career win number 16. Spirit Squad with the "We Are Alma" chant from both ends as the officials have a quick conference. Curtis Rhodes held the 2 points in the second half after a 9-point effort in the first half off the bench, gets it in. Flanagan across the lane, speeds down and lays it up and in. An aggressive dribble drive for the guy they called J-Bat, a big Batman fan. And Albion back on top, 58-56. Walker to Riley at the Alma end. And Alma hang in there. Down to Walker along the baseline. Fed back out. Riley for 3 in the lead. No. High bounce off the rim. Meister taps it around, but it goes off his fingers out of bounds. Alma's been on both sides of the overtime coin, dominating against Albion in the first matchup, but losing to Kalamazoo when Kalamazoo burst to a 7-point early overtime lead. Alma got back and had a chance of that, down 1 with the ball in the closing seconds, but could not convert. Albion quickly up, get a 2-on-1 break after breaking the pressure, but missed the layup. Rhodes couldn't get that to fall. Alma now speeds the other direction, and Boffman got a chance at an and one.
Boffman just a little bit too fast.
California native, transfer from Aurora. 10 points today. Career high is 14 for Alma. Earlier this season on the road at Grinnell. And Boffman, who missed the front end of a 1-and-1 earlier, will have a key chance here to put his team on top. And rim unkind. And we'll play on tied at 58, under 4 minutes to play.
That one went halfway down.
Sure did. Ray, those scooping dribbles into the corner. Back out to Rhodes, picked up by Bordeaux. Bordeaux looks to hand it off, gets it back into Ray's hands, 10 on the shot clock. Now to Barden at the foul line. Barden puts it on the floor, surges left, true strong. Rebound comes loose. Boffman gets it, wanted an outlet, looked ahead, there was nobody in front of him.
He was the only one up there.
He was leading the pack and decides he'll wait. 58-58, Alma ball, 3:14 to play. Boffman lobs it down low. Walker hit a little bit, wanted the foul, but he'll take the bucket. 22 for Walker, Alma by 2. Scott's with the pressure. Now they'll pull it back. Alma with its first lead of overtime. As Childers goes underneath, double team. Barden kicks it back out. Childers quick trigger on an open 3. Riley closed out though, altered it just enough. Bordeaux ends up on his back on the rebound, but the ball out of bounds and deemed to have gone off of Alma. Hard for me to understand how both of those things can be true, that it's not a foul and Alma touched it last. One or the other.
That's tough.
Interesting. 2:46. Alma by 2, 60-58. Walker taps the inbounds pass almost away from Flanagan, but Flanagan runs it down. Jalen now drives in, bounces off of Walker, pulls it back, misses off the window. This time the tap out goes right to Boffman. He's back 1-on-2. Does he see it? No, he's going to go anyway. Drops it to a trailing Meister, who lays it in.
What a play by Boffman.
He has played one heck of a game. Alma by 4. Cross-court wild pass gets through to Childers. Baseline drive, tries from 12 feet, in and out, no good. Both teams getting robbed here by the rims in the extra session. 2:13, Alma by 4. Jody May says, calm everybody down, plenty of time. Meanwhile, Alma almost leaves it in the backcourt too long once again. Less than a half a second to get that one across. Mike Fitzpatrick had to implore Connor Riley to get up there. Now the shot clock down to 9. Bordeaux, deep three, hand in his face. Air ball might have been partially blocked. Boffman saves it, but right into the hands of Rhodes. I wonder if Boffman should have let that one go based on how short it was. Might have been tipped. Albion with another chance. Wild ball goes off of Barden, but comes through to Rhodes. Keeps it alive. Too strong, awkward angle off the window. Now back out. Childers drives. He fires that off the back of the rim. Riley a rebound. Alma's got it down to 1:30. 2-on-1. Riley all the way. Count it! The whistle's for a timeout, not a foul, but Alma leads by 6. 1:25 to play. And Alma, after giving up the opening 2 points of overtime, now answers with 8 straight. And they're 1:25 away from leveling their conference record at 4-4.
Albion, just a lot of misses on their own end from fairly close in, but they've been contested shots. Alma just not giving up anything easily here in the overtime period. And Jody May with a few extra words for Barden before they go into the huddle.
Well, you know, it's interesting. As a broadcaster, sometimes you get stuck on a phrase. You keep saying the same thing, and I've heard myself say, too strong, too strong, too strong. But that's what's happened.
Yeah.
Albion, multiple times in close, has tried to use the glass and just pounded the ball in there with too much. And that's why they haven't fallen. Long ways to go. I believe that 6 points where Alma is right now is their biggest lead of the game.
I know Albion led by 7 at one point.
Yeah, they led 22-15, and indeed 64-58 is Alma's biggest lead. This has been back and forth battle. Alma has led a little bit more time in the game now, 22 minutes compared to 14 and a half. But that was because they had a 1-point lead for a lengthy period of time in the middle of the second half. 1:25 to go. Albion now with 10 second half fouls, so it's 2 shots the rest of the way for Alma. Still only 6 Scots fouls, so Albion could have to contend with 3 1-and-1s should the situation arise. Barden deep 4 in the front court for both teams. And Albion will take a rather leisurely pace up in a game that they trail by 6. Gray now crosses half court. Boffman lays off a little bit defensively. Barden in the high post, drives in. Behind the back, pass to Flanagan, and he's fouled by Riley. Shot no good.
What a pass.
That's bold at this time of the game, but Flanagan knew it was coming. He'll head to the line looking for his 10th point of the game.
68.3% foul shooter.
Very loud in here. First shot up and good. Cuts the lead down to 10. Flanagan, the 4th of 9 kids, was homeschooled through 8th grade and headed in to the Edison Public School Academy where he won a state championship. Second try also good. So it's 11 for Flanagan, but Alma's still up by 4. I would expect the Scots will try to use as much of the shot clock as Albion will allow with the 64-60 lead. Tyshawn Walker dribbling with the ball very close to the floor. Now picks it up, flashes it over to Meister. Bordeaux on the left. One dribble from Gabe and a long bounce pass back to Riley. 9 on the shot clock. Riley 1 step to his right, back to Bordeaux. Squares from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound Barden. And Albion's going to have a crack here. 37 seconds, down by 4. Ray up the floor to Flanagan, and now to Childers, underneath to Barden. Barden tried to get a pass through, tipped by Meister, kept alive. 25 seconds left in a 4-point game. Inside, Rhodes, fall-away jumper along the baseline, rolls off the back end, and Walker's got it. Albion's got a foul. The shot clock is off. There's the foul finally, but Albion wasted 3 or 4 seconds there before Ray got to reach in on Tyshawn Walker.
It'll be a 1-and-1 for Tyshawn Walker, 0 for 1 from the free throw line.
2 shots.
2 shots. Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Alma's the one that's only got the 7 fouls. So 2 shots for Tyshawn. Even better, he's got 22 points to go along with 9 rebounds.
It's a pretty good line against Albion this year. 22 in both games and possibly 1 or 2 more. 16 seconds. Albion really needed points on that trip Walker misses on the first free throw. Little shake of the head. Walker now to try to make it 5, which he does. 23 for Walker, 16 seconds left for Albion. Alma won by 5 the first, or won by 6 the first time. They lead by 5 tonight. Ray up, drives in, Boffman in his face, fouls him with 8.9 seconds to go, but denies any buckets.
Got a lot of ball. Must have got some arm as well.
Ray desperately needs both of these to cut it down to a one-possession game. And at least force Alma to convert from the foul line. First one good. Double-digit game for Dwayne Ray.
Shown any sign of missing in the shooting department.
Certainly has been a big part of the story today, and just his second career varsity game. Second one up, also in. So 2 calm makes from Dwayne Ray and an Albion timeout, 65-62. 8.9 seconds to go. First things first, Alma's got to get the ball in. Then Albion will presumably immediately foul.
Right. And as long as you make 1 of 2 as the Scots, if you get it in, you're in pretty good shape here.
Alma's still just 5 of 15 from the line today. 65% as a team on the year.
It hasn't been pretty from the line. But a win's a win, and if they can get out of here, they will be very, very pleased with it.
I don't know the numbers, I should have checked, but I imagine it's been quite a while since Alma has swept Albion in a season. I'm trying to think what happened.
Yeah.
They won here last year, but I don't believe they won down at Kresge. Now, this is one of these ones that I could guess and be totally wrong on. 65-62, 8.9 seconds remaining. Alma will have it underneath the Albion basket. They'll have to go the length of the floor, but they will be able to run the baseline to get the ball in. At least I believe so.
I'd love to see them, if they guard the inbound, run that screen play that the sub-varsity team ran to win the ball game, because that really got some space.
It will be Bordeaux to try to get it in. Bounces it to Riley.
That was too easy.
Yep. And Riley manages to run 2.6 seconds off the clock before the foul gets called.
I'm not really sure what Albion's strategy was there, because they let Riley get that one with great ease.
Connor just 1 of 2 at the line today. 8 assists today along with his 10 points. Riley, Alma's assist leader on the season. Always doing something. And now making a crucial free throw that makes it 66-62.
That was a big one right there.
Now Alma can pull everybody back. No fouls likely translates to victory. Second one for an insurance policy just in case. And Alma's going to come away with an overtime victory. Hoffman will just provide a little bit of a roadblock to slow Ray down. Fires from 3. Well, okay, hold on.
Tell you what, he doesn't miss.
1.9 seconds to go, a 2-point game. Alma's got to get it in again, and Albion gives one more foul.
He just doesn't miss.
Did I speak too soon? Dwayne Ray on the game. 11. No, that was before.
That's 14.
Yeah, 14 points on 3 of 4 shooting from the outside, 4 of 7 overall. 67-65, still 1.6 seconds to go, and Riley heads back to the line. Now him making both free throws previously looks considerably more important as he gets a nice bounce off the back iron for this one to go. It's a 3-point game. Alma could plausibly think about fouling now in the backcourt off of a Riley miss. 3-point game. Barden gets the rebound. He heaves it very early. They had over a second, and Barden just tossed it from 75 feet. No good. Alma gets the win, 68-65 in an overtime thriller. Alma on the season picks up win number 10, conference win number 4. We'll take a quick break, come back with a post-game show to celebrate a Scots victory. Final score here from the Art Smith Arena. Alma by 3, 68-65 over Albion.